Hey everyone, good morning. I'm Priyanshu Agrawal and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now we are going to solve today's LeetCode daily challenge, which is maximum value of an ordered triplet second. So yesterday's question was maximum value of an ordered triplet first. So if you have not watched this video, then you can watch this video. In this, I have explained all the different approaches to solve the question. So let's see what is this question and how we can see that. This question is just an extended version of this one, because in the yesterday's question the time constraints were 10 to the power 2, and in today's question the time constraints are 10 to the power 5. So that's the only difference, but all other things remain same. Okay, so let's see. You are given a zero index integer array nums, and you need to return the maximum value over all the triplets of indices I, j and k such that I is less than j, j is less than k, and if all such triplets have a negative value, then return 0. And the value of a triplet of indices I, j and k is equals to nums of I minus nums of j multiplied by nums of k. So what we have been given in the question is a array in which you need to find the maximum value among all the triplets. Triplets means there should be 3 indices with I, j and k such that I should be less than j and j should be less than k, and the value of a triplet is defined by this expression, and you need to find the maximum value among all the triplets. Okay, so one very basic brute force approach which comes to your mind is that we can run 3 nested loops for I, j and k and get the respective maximum value. But as you can see in this question, the constants are 10 to the power 5. So using 3 nested loops, it will give you complexity of 10 to the power 5 to the power 3, which is obviously going to give you TLE. So in yesterday's question, the constants was 10 to the power 2. So n square, n cube, all the complexities will work. So but in today's question, we have to think of either n or n log n complexity. So in yesterday's video, I have also explained one approach in which you can solve this question in big O of n complexity. But today we will discuss 2 approaches for big O of n complexity. Okay, so let's see. Another approach is that either we can fix j and k and keep updating the maximum value of I, because in this expression you can see that this expression going to give you the maximum value only when nums of I is maximum, right? Yes, obviously. So what we can do, we can fix j and k and keep updating I with the maximum value, but its complexity will also be big of n square, because we are still using 2 loops, and I have explained this approach in yesterday's video. Okay, but now let's see how we can solve this question in big O of n complexity. So let's take this example 1, 10, 3, 4, 19. So you have been given with an example 1, 10, 3, 4, 19. So like there should be 3 indices I, j and k, right? So can we fix j? And you can see that I occurs on the left of the j and k occurs on the right of the j, right? Yes. And from the expression as well, you need to find that nums of I minus nums of j into nums of k. So from the expression, you can see that nums of I and nums of k should be maximum to maximize this complete value, right? They both should be maximum to maximize this complete value. Yes, and you can see that I occurs to the left of the j and k occurs to the right of the j. So can you derive something from here, that can we get some left max and some right max vectors and fix j and get the maximum value of this expression? Okay, so let's see what I am saying. So if we initialize 2 vectors, left max and right max, and they start filling their values. So for the first element, left max is going to be nothing, just 0, and for the last element, right max is going to be nothing. So let's just update these 2 with 0. Okay, now let's start filling left max for 10. So what will be the left max for 10? Either the maximum value of nums of I minus 1 or the maximum of the maximum of both of these numbers, right? Because we can't consider 10, because we need to find the left max of 10, so we can't consider 10 itself. So the maximum of 1 comma 0, it's 1. Now the left max for 3 will be maximum of 10 and 1, it will be 10. Now the left max of 4, maximum of 3 comma 10, it will still be 10. Now the left max of 19, maximum of 10 comma 4, it is still be 10. Now the right max for 4 will be maximum of 19 comma 0, it is 19. Right max for 3, maximum of 4 comma 19, 19. Now right max for 10, maximum of 3 comma 19, 19. Right max of 10, maximum of 10 comma 19, 19. So in this way we got the right max and left max for all the integers. It means this is our, if this is our j, then this is going to be the left max. It means this is going to be the nums of I, and this is going to be right max. It means this is going to be nums of k. Cool. So what we can do, we can simply start iterating in this array and update our result at every point. Let's say if initially our result is 0, so now we are at 1. So what we can do, left max, which is 0, minus nums of j, which is 1, multiplied by 19. So it will give you a negative value, so let's keep it as 0 only. Now we are at this index, so left max 1 minus nums of j into right max, it means nums of k. It will still going to give you negative value, so let's keep it as 0 only. Now we are at this index 3, left max, which is 10, minus 3 nums of j into nums of k, which is 19. Yeah, 7 common, 7 into 19. So let's update this 0 with 7 into 19. Cool. Now we are at this index. So left max 10 minus nums of j into nums of k, which is 90. 6 into 19. But 6 into 19 is less than 7 into 19. So we will not update it. Now we are at this index. Left max minus nums of j into right max, it means nums of k. So it will give you 0. So we will keep it as 7 into 19. So we have got our maximum value of this expression. It means maximum value of the triplet. And what will be the value of this 90 into 7? 133. So let's match it with our answer. So yeah, you can see that 133 is the maximum value of our triplet. So what we have done here is that we have fixed j and looked for I and k. And what we can derive from this expression, that I should be the maximum and k should be also maximum. And if I is less than j and j is less than k, then we can see that I is the left max of j and k is the right max of j. So what we have done, we have simply created two vectors, left max and right max, and just updated our result with the maximum value. Cool. So let's see its code once. So here in the code as well, we have initialized two vectors, left max and right max, and keep updating their values. And in the second loop, we have just updated our result with the maximum value. So what will be the time complexity of this approach? So for this approach, the time complexity will be big of n, as we are just doing two iterations. So, or you can say that 2 into n, which is equivalent to big of n only. And this space complexity will also be big of 2 into n, as we are using two vectors. So it is also equivalent to big of n only. Okay, so this will pass because the time complexity is big of n, which is 10 to the power 5. So this will going to work. But can we reduce this extra space to some extent? Like, do we really need this space? Okay, so let's see if we can reduce this extra space. So from the expression, you can see that I and k, nums of I and nums of k should be maximum. Okay, so from this expression, one more thing can be derived, like nums of I minus nums of j into nums of k. So from this expression, one more thing can be derived is that I should be maximum, nums of I should be maximum, and this complete difference should also be maximum to maximize this complete value, right? If nums of I is max and this difference is max, so we can easily maximize this value. So what we can do is we can fix k and try to maximize nums of I and this difference. Okay, so let's see with the same example with this code that how we are maximizing dmax and imax. Okay, so the example was 1, 10, 3, 4, 19. I've also explained this approach in the yesterday's videos, but yeah, I'm explaining it again for your understanding. So we will initialize three variables: result, difference max and I max. All will be initialized with 0. Cool. Okay, so what we can do, we can try to maximize dmax and imax and keep updating our result. Okay, so in the first iteration our dmax is 0, so dmax multiply, so this is our nums of k right now. Cool, this is our k value because we are fixing k, so we will be iterating in the vector for the nums of k. So for the first iteration, our difference is 0, so 0 multiplied by nums of k will still remain 0. Okay, so let's update our dmax and imax for the first iteration. So our dmax will be imax minus nums of k, which is -1, but we need to maximize it, so we will not going to update it with a negative value. Now let's maximize imax. So imax will be maximum of imax comma nums of k if we update it to 1. Okay, but why we are updating it with nums of k and this dmax with imax minus nums of k? Because imax is obviously the nums of I for this iteration, and nums of k is going to be the nums of j for the next iteration. That's why we are updating this difference max with these values, and we are updating I max with maximum of nums of k because this nums of k is going to be the nums of I for the next to next iteration. Like for the next iteration it is going to be nums of j, for the next to next iteration it is going to be nums of I. So that's why we are updating them in this way. Okay, so now in the next iteration k is pointing to this location. Let's update our result with dmax multiplied by nums of k, but dmax is still 0, so result will remain 0. Let's update dmax and imax. Dmax will be imax minus nums of k, which is 10, which is a negative value, so let's not update it. Imax will get updated with 10. Now in the next iteration k is pointing to this location, which is 3, but result will still remain 0 as 0 multiplied by 3 is 0. Now let's update our dmax and imax. Dmax will get updated with 10 minus 3, which is 7, and imax will still remain 10 because maximum of 3 comma 10 is 10. Okay, in the next iteration k is pointing to this location, so let's update our result with 7 multiplied by 4, 28. Okay, now let's update our dmax and imax. Dmax is 10 minus 4, which is 6, which is less than 7, so we will not update it. Imax is maximum of 10 comma 4, which is 10. Okay, now in the next iteration k is pointing to 19, so 7 into 19 will get updated as a result. Now let's update dmax and imax. So dmax will be imax minus nums of k, which is 9, and imax will be maximum of imax and k nums of k, so it will be 90. Now we have came to the end of our loop, and you can see that our answer is 133 with this approach as well. And in this approach what we have done, we have simply fixed our k and tried maximizing the nums of I and their difference. So in this approach you can see that the time complexity will still remain big O of n, but we have not used any extra space, so its space complexity will become big O of 1. So yeah, this was all for this question. I hope you get it, but if you still have any doubts, then you can post in the comment section. I will surely try to answer them. Till then, bye guys, see you in the next video.